All right, it is the weekend. I'm sorry I was MIA on Friday, but I just really haven't been feeling that well here in Japan. The time zone is just so tough for trading, and that's my excuse. I basically took a day off. The good news is I probably wouldn't have done very well anyways. There was a lot of tricky stocks on Friday, and I'll get into that in a second. But first, I want to just tell you we have a few more days left on my birthday blowout sale. 50% off annual newsletters, 50% off select DVDs. If you go to Timley/BDayTim and Timley/TimBirth, just a little birthday gift from me to you to celebrate. Thank you to everybody for the well wishes. I appreciate it, especially that one guy who came up to me at Sushi Daiwa here in Tokyo, and he was like, complimenting me at 5 in the morning. That was nice little treat for me after some good sushi. Also, I just wanted to give props to one of my challenge students, this guy Chad. He's emailed me so much. He wants to learn. And even though I've kind of been MIA with my alerts the past few days, he has been on top of things. And he said, "Happy birthday." Um, and I got like 2 or 3 thousand birthday emails, so I'm sorry if I didn't reply to you. But he said this, and I didn't even see it until it was afterwards. But he said, "I'm short 700 shares of FNRG at an average of 6.16. This paid pump, first red day. Plan is to hold overnight. I am hoping your pattern hold true. What a freaking rush." And so he did this trade all on his own, just a small, $5,000, $4,500 position. But yeah, I like to short paid pump and dumps when they have their first red day. That's usually the beginning of the end. I've probably made, I would guess, between $1 and $1.5 million on this one pattern. And I missed FNRG. I've been watching it for months, and I totally missed it. This was the first down day. Chad did not short it in the sevens. Where did he short it? At 6.16, and it just kept cracking. And for those people who say penny stocks are unpredictable or unborrowable, well, this just proves it. Okay, it's nothing huge, but this is the sign. This is the sign that I look for every single day. Since look at this. I mean, since we're talking going back, it's had crashes before, but back since August. So, nearly what, 7, 8 months. And it's just been gradually going up, and then crash all within a few days. Chad got his short off right in here into the market close. I actually probably, had I been watching, would have shorted the crack of this morning low. I like shorting first red days and the breakdown of the first morning low right here. So 650-ish. So he got shorted at 616-ish. And, it went all the way down to the threes over the next 2 days. And now I'm not saying I would have held the whole time. I probably would have covered into this panic here. Had I traded it, my guess I would have shorted at 650. Maybe even covered half or probably all of it here and made 75 cents a share. If I did hold any, I would have covered the next morning into this panic at 520 and made like $1 a share. Chad, for his part, emailed me and he said, got the morning panic as predicted in Penny Stocking Part 2 and the HTMM DVDs. This is how to make millions. Shorting first down day into the close, covering in the morning panic. Wish we had these pumps to trade on a weekly basis. And that's the thing. They don't come about as often as anybody wants. There's not enough shares to short as much as anybody wants. You could short 1,000,000 shares of this pattern and make $1 million or $2, but there's not that many shares to short. The cool thing is he covered some at 525 and some at 510, so he made roughly $1 a share. Borrows were from E-Trade, and that is sick. And he said, overall my account is down, but this helped tremendously. Would never have found it had I not signed up to be a challenge student. I even missed my morning meeting. Not to miss this opportunity. Thanks a million. And I love that. So Chad, congrats. I had to make this video. I know we've been emailing a lot, and I know that, yeah, you are down a little bit. Most students are down in the beginning. Even, wonderkin Tim Grittani, who's now up to 2.6 million in 4 years, he lost rather consistently in the beginning because it's a weird ass strategy and it takes a little while to get used to it. But Chad did this all on his own. I hadn't mentioned this stock in weeks. I totally forgot about it. But Chad was watching my DVDs, Penny Stocking Part 2, How to Make Millions. This pattern is detailed extensively My How to Make Millions DVD is 35 plus hours. And this is one of the best patterns, if not the best pattern that I know of. And thanks to E-Trade for having shares to short of these pump and dumps. And Chad only made $1, I made zero, and yet the stock dropped 50% in 3 days. So this is the latest pump and dump to crash. For my part, I did nail one stock, even though I was totally sleep deprived. I like to short pump and dumps when they take out the morning low, and I like to buy earnings winners when they break above the morning high. It's a very simple, similar strategy. I'm shorting crap as it drops, and you have a technical thesis where it takes out the morning low and probably first red down day. That led to the 50% run up. And then I also like to buy earnings winners when they break the morning high. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't get in at 1280, I got in at 1290. And because this was, I don't know, it felt like, I want to say it was like 2 or maybe it was even like 3:30, 4 in the morning here in Tokyo. I don't know. I was totally out of it, but I saw the breakout and I bought some shares. I bought it in the 12s, sold in the low 13s. It actually went all the way up to 1370. So, it was like a 70, 80 cent a share gain. Even now it's at 1305. It would be tough to lose money on this buying the breakout of the morning high. I guess if you could have dip bought it on Friday, you could have made another 50 cents a share. But very simple strategy. And just from the chat room, I just saw a few people. M Skinny, oh, not M Skinny, Skinny, MCP, he was in at 98, out at 110. Happy birthday from the Polish guy in California. Thank you. Here's Jay Axel, up $400 in 2 days with a $2,000 account. Following Tim's rules is hard because I have massive ADD, but I've lost way too much not doing so in the past, so I'm going all in with Tim's rules this time. I know it's tough to follow the rules. Trust me, even after 15 years, I still have problems following the rules. But if I stick to simple patterns like the FNRG short and the TZOO long, it's amazing how well it works. Here is Diego Diaz, was watching TZOO all day, just got back to realize I missed it. I was dead on and would have bought at 1250. Oh well. It's okay. It's okay to miss trades. I missed FNRG, but if you're on the right track and you see the pattern ahead of time and you see how it plays out, now next time, Diego, I think that you're going to be like, wait a minute, next time there's an earnings winner like TZOO, which is a former runner in years past, it was one of the top performing stocks in the market, still has a lot of shorts, it's in a hot sector, and it's uptrending all day. Next time you will buy because you will remember TZOO. In my TZOO buy alert in the 12s before it spiked nearly $1 a share, I said this reminds me of OSTK, Overstock.com, which had a similar short sellers kind of dilemma when this kind of crappy internet company reported decent earnings. Mind you, TZOO did not report blowout earnings. If you look at the mainstream press, they're all like, yeah, TravelZoo reported earnings, nothing good. And most traders and investors who watch these mainstream channels and stuff like that, they would just ignore TZOO. And that's why the mainstream is wrong. That's why CNBC's ratings are at 15, 20-year lows, and my ratings and subscribers and students doing well are at all-time highs. You have to do what works. You have to focus on patterns and rules that works and minimize patterns and rules that don't work. It's not just about how the company reports earnings. It's not just about the numbers. An earnings winner is not just a company that, reports blowout record number earnings. An earnings winner is the reaction to earnings. And I know this is tough because I have to de-brainwash people from what they think an earnings winner is, but my rules work better. It's that simple. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just trying to tell you what's worked for me for 15 years. And here is Speaker Junkie. He said he couldn't sell TZOO until tomorrow, which was actually probably a good thing. I wish I had the pattern day trader rule. I would have held it for more than, I made like 30, 35 cents a share. And I could have made double that. Yeah, and I said, Speaker Junkie came in handy for you this time. If you stick to the best patterns, you don't need to really worry about the pattern day trader rule. Really the only two best plays this week were shorting FNRG and buying TravelZoo. All this other choppy stuff, there's a lot of stocks in play, but nothing truly perfect. If you wait for these perfect plays, you'll have better success because it's easier and more simple, and your confidence will rise, and you'll be surprised. Anyways, here's Rentec in at 1290 out of 1344, so made like $1,000. Mac Daddy made $1 a share. I don't know how many shares. J Stack One made nearly 50 cents a share, and G Clark made 30, 35 cents a share. These were just a few, mind you, because this was like 4 or 5 in the morning for me. So I'm just, copy and pasting some stuff that I see in the chat room. I got a whole bunch more emails. But overall, the biggest winner this week is Chad, who, studying works, guys, okay? He is a dedicated challenge student. He's had some troubles in the past. It's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. Once upon a time, I barely had more than a few $1,000s in my account. You just have to keep learning, keep, focusing on patterns that work, keep trying to hit those trades, long and short. And, pretty soon you'll make 700 bucks in a day like Chad did. And, maybe next year Chad will do better on this trade and he'll make 1,400 because the stock dropped, another, actually $1.50. He could have made another 2,000. So even Chad didn't time it right, but at least he still made a few $100 in a day, and this is him investing like 4,500 bucks. So if you invest 4,500 bucks in a mutual fund and any of these diversified ETF bullshit, good luck making a few $100s over the course of a year. If you treat your small account like you should as an advantage, which it is, a lot of people say, oh, Tim, I have such a small account. It's so tough to make a lot of money. Yeah, it might be tough to make a lot of money, but you can grow it damn fast. And if you focus on these buying earnings winners and shorting pump and dumps, you make 20% on your account in a day. You don't have to do it every single day, but do it, 3 times a month. And you're going to be doubling your account all within a few weeks. Doubling, doubling, doubling. It's amazing how fast it works. And obviously sometimes you're going to be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right 100% of the time. I'm just anticipating the comments that I'm going to get from this video. Like people say, oh, Tim says it's so easy. You just short pump it ups and buy earnings winners and you win 100% of the time. No, I win roughly 73, 74% of the time. But the point being that I get so many emails and questions from people who have literally been brainwashed to be diversified with their $5,000 or $10,000 accounts. And they're like, well, I want to make 20% on my $10,000 account. And I'm like, you do realize making 20% on a $10,000 account is like 2,000 bucks over the course of a year. And inflation is like 3% a year. So why are you wasting so much time following the rules of an industry that's geared towards, already existing millionaires and billionaires? I have a hedge fund investment. It's made me 20, 25% per year the past few years, and I like that. But I have nearly $1 million invested in this hedge fund. So for me, I like making an extra 100 or 200,000 a year. You need to put everything into perspective, okay? If you have a small account, you need to grow your account exponentially. Chad is understanding that. So many other trading challenge students are understanding that. And a lot of people want to hate on penny stocks. They want to hate on my attitude or my cockiness or these patterns or the inability to short sell sometimes. Hate on whatever you want. But this is the strategy I personally used to grow my account exponentially. Now my students are doing it. And, if you want to ignore me or you want to bet against me, be my guest. I got a few hater comments on social media when I was buying this in the 12s and they were shorting it. They're like, this is a piece of crap company. It's going to drop. And then it spiked nearly $1. I don't think anybody was really buying the pump and up FNRG. But if you want to bet against me and, you don't believe these patterns are real and you think I'm full of BS, be my guest. See how you do. I get a lot of my students, sadly, this way, where they think that I'm lying or they think that this stuff isn't going to work more times than not. And then they lose money betting against it, And by the time they lose 50% of their money or 75 or sometimes even all their money going against my rules, then they come back to me and they're like, Tim, I'm sorry, you were right. How do we do this? And then they have little to no money left. So I don't want you making that mistake. Don't be like the wolf pack. If you remember them last year, they were all a bunch of crazy marijuana investors, marijuana penny stocks. They thought that the stocks would keep going. I said, you know what? I don't mean to be negative, but your marijuana penny stock charts look exactly like pump and dumps usually crash 99% and they never come back. And a lot of the wolf pack didn't listen to me. Some of them did. I'm very proud, like Polis B. I'm glad we saved him. But a lot of people just went down with the ship with all those crappy marijuana pump and dumps. And now they have no money left to trade or invest. So they can't even join my trading challenge. They can't even trade And it doesn't. I don't want to be right if you're losing money. I don't care about being right. I'm trying to get more testimonials, more student millionaires. That's what really drives me. So, anyways, congrats to Chad. Congrats to so many of you on TZOO. I will be back next week from my Japanese trip, and I will be feeling better than ever. So, again, my apologies for Friday, but I hope you have a great and happy and healthy weekend. Thanks, guys. See ya.